Welcome. The Orphanage, also known as El Orfanato, was released in 2007 and was directed by J.A. Bayona. It stars Belén Rueda and is about Laura, whose son, Simon, goes missing and she has to find him. So, this movie is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. On my top 5 list, this is number 3. I absolutely love this movie, and I bought it for $5, and it is one of the best buys that I have ever done. Before I even start reviewing this, just watch it. If you've never seen it, click off this video, watch it, and then watch this review. I won't go into spoilers, because some people are just going to watch the review before they watch it, but if you've wanted to watch this movie, watch it before this review. I highly recommend this movie. It is worth it. So, now since you've watched the movie, let's talk about it. The first pro that I have with this movie is its story. It is so amazing, and I'm saying amazing, but if you've seen it, you'll know the emotions that you're supposed to feel. But it really was just crafted so well, and there's so many elements of it where you think you're going to know where it's going, and it just goes off in a completely different direction, and then something they referred to before becomes important then, and just everything comes together, and there's never a dull moment in this movie. And what might start to feel like one just completely isn't dull anymore, and something happens to where it isn't dull anymore. But I always, even watching this the first time, I always was paying attention to it. I never lost any, attention, I guess, to the movie. It just caught my eye as soon as it started, and I was in for the experience of a lifetime. I guess I should preface this now that this movie is in Spanish, it's not in English, so if that's going to deter you in any way, which it shouldn't, but if it does, then too bad. Watch the movie. So, my second pro with this movie is the acting. Belén Rueda as Laura, so great. She should have won so many awards for her performance. Her just grief and what's happening to her, you could just feel that. And she doesn't even need to say anything. You could just see it on her face, and that's just a sign of a brilliant actress. And she definitely portrays one of the greatest horror movie characters that I have ever watched on screen. I think it could rival or get pretty close to some of the acting in The Shining, The Thing, Alien, and all of those. I think that her performance could rival some of the great performances from those movies. It's just, The Orphanage is a lesser-known movie, sadly. Oh! Picked off! Tom Brady just got a pick 6. Tina, you could throw that in the video. I just have it on, and yep, Tom Brady just threw a pick 6. That's pretty fun. So, the third pro that I have with this movie, and my final pro, would be the score. It is so beautiful and breathtaking, and you're just seeing these beautiful imagery on the screen of the orphanage, or of the beach, a lighthouse. Everything, every shot in this movie is so gorgeous, and just behind it is a brilliant score by Fernando Velasquez, which, if you don't want to watch the movie, at least listen to the score. You won't regret it. I was watching this movie with a lot of music people, and even they were saying that the score is gorgeous, which it really is. And my favorite one, I don't know the name of it, is the start of the third act, which I can't spoil anything, so it's really hard for me to describe it, other than it's the start of the third act, and you will know it as soon as you hear it. Before listing some cons, I do want to say that while looking up some information about this movie, apparently it received a 10-minute standing ovation at a film festival where it was shown, which is absolutely insane. A 10-minute ovation, and it is deserving. So, my only con that I really have with this movie is the characters of Carlos and Pilar. They really don't have much to do, and it's really sad because Carlos is acted great, but there isn't much for his character to do in it. It really focuses on Lara, and there isn't really that much attention to Carlos, who's the husband of Lara. And it's kind of a shame because he does a great job in his role, and yeah, I kind of wish I saw more of him. And Pilar just kind of felt like a throwaway character. She's like a police psychiatrist, as they say she is in the English translation. But yeah, there isn't much for her to do either. She's just kind of there in a few scenes as the police presence in this movie. And yeah, she kind of felt throwaway. I guess one more con that you could have is that the movie isn't very scary. The fear of the movie is very real, and they try to go with a realistic approach to it. But there was never really any point where I felt truly horrified, which that could be a con. So, overall, I'm going to give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. And like I said in the beginning, I highly recommend it. Please watch this movie, support it in any way you can. This is one of my favorite horror movies. So before I do my end things spiel, I do just want to say that I did read a negative review about how, and this could be a spoiler, so here's a little spoiler woman. I'm in a spoiler warning. Yeah, so here's your little spoiler warning right now. But there was a review that said that basically it uses children as a way to have a gross factor in this movie, and I really don't agree with that. I think it paints the illnesses that some of these children have in an amazing light, and I really never felt that there was any point where they were just trying to have a gross factor in this movie by exploiting children with special needs. You may disagree, but I truly never felt that any children are being exploited, or that any special needs children were. So thank you everyone for watching, and leave a comment down below of any other horror movie you would like me to watch. But let's flash forward to the next review.